Hello, my name is Benjamin Hart. I'm an American attorney and the managing director of Integrity Legal here in Bangkok, Thailand. In the increasing theme of the cadence, if you will, of this ongoing drumbeat of these bureaucrats and government agents, whatever, talking about how we all need to be tracked, traced, surveilled, taxed on everything. Yet again, here we go. Thought of making this video after reading a recent article from the Thai Examiner. ThaiExaminer.com article is titled, Thailand is studying a negative income tax, NIT, scheme to involve all adults in the economy. Quoting further, Thailand's, first of all, it's worth noting, we talked about this before, call it a negative income tax, call it universal basic income, it's all socialist nonsense. It's also a carrot and a stick. It's presenting this notion, oh, you're gonna get help, you're gonna get welfare, you're gonna get all this stuff, but you gotta come into our total surveillance grid. You gotta come into our complete totalitarian tax and surveillance WEF, World Economic Forum plan, wherein you'll own nothing and be happy. That's what this just reeks of. Quoting directly, Thailand's government is urgently studying a negative income tax plan to include all adults in the economy, addressing an aging society and a widespread, and this is what I love, widespread untaxed informal sector. In this same publication, the Thai Examiner, ThaiExaminer.com, there's a prior article I read, and I never quoted it, I just remember reading it, and it kind of went into my subconscious, but I remembered it again, where some former banker was just railing on and on about how the gray economy and the informal economy and blah, 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 all of this needs to be brought under this total surveillance net so that we can trace and track and tax everything. Well, at the end of the day, it's that informal economy that has consistently, in the real world, saved Thailand, rank and file ties, the whole country, when everything goes sideways via this hyper-financialized Western-based system, this debt-based hyper-financialized system. Every time it crashes out, 97 is a perfect example. What turned around and was the saving grace? Yes, it took time, but what was the saving grace? It was that same informal economy everyone is so intent on killing, very much like the golden goose. That said, quoting further, Thailand's Ministry of Finance is presently conducting a study, and this is worth noting, a study, but it's being sort of touted as if this is going to end up being a foregone conclusion that we're going to have this entirely new tax system. Quoting further, into the introduction of a negative income tax NIT scheme. This was confirmed on Monday by Deputy Minister of Finance Julapon Amonwirat. The measure is considered urgent as the country's financial structure, particularly its social welfare card schemes, can no longer withstand the demands of an aging and less productive population. Well, how about we not utilize a financialized structure? The standard Thai structure, the Thai economy has been working pretty well, low these hundreds, if not thousands of years. Have we needed a bunch of outside financial institutions to come in and intervene in our economy? Is that really what's necessary here? And total surveillance of everyone's transactions and a destruction of the informal economy, the street economy, the economy that feeds the lowest economic strata of everyone in Thailand, and upward, by the way. You know, there was a comment on a prior video I did where they were talking about the street vendors, and they asked the question, what about all the office workers in Thailand? How are they going to eat if all the street vendors are gone? You know, this is the kind of stuff that you heard about in the Soviet system, which crashed and burned spectacularly, which I thought we were all aware of, and all the problems associated with all this constant surveillance and constant intervention by a bunch of bureaucrats into day-to-day lives and day-to-day business dealings of rank-and-file people. Quoting further, it comes as Thailand has now officially become an aged society. This sounds to me like another one of these World Economic Forum buzzwords used to basically hypnotize the masses into going along with their own, quite honestly, with their own economic detriment, something that's going to operate negatively to them. And again, what was it Lenin said? We shall win by slogans. You know, aged society, oh, the demography's all off. You know, at the end of the day, what does that mean? Well, what it ultimately means is, yeah, we're importing workers to do stuff at the lower end of the labor strata, which that's kind of the way it works. Okay, why does that require nanny state surveillance and constant wealth extraction? I mean, again, these things don't connect. Meanwhile, it seems like that there's increasing momentum behind this, and I wonder if that's because the core coalition member, whatever you want to call it, is worried they're not going to be able to implement all these socialist changes for whatever reason. I mean, at the end of the day, Thailand has gotten along fine without this stuff. And quite frankly, the absence of these precise programs is exactly why I moved here to begin with. Thailand has a free economy. It's a free enterprise economy, not capitalism. Let me be clear. Capitalism is part of a dialectic. Communism, capitalism. That's why Marx called one of his books Das Kapital, capital. Okay, it's within that dialectic. I'm talking about free enterprise. Leave people alone, let them do business, and the economy will prosper thereby. Meanwhile, as other people have talked about, all these schemes are being thrown out. We have a VAT system. I'm not in favor of raising it, but it would be a lot simpler to just up the VAT if that's the real problem, rather than requiring everybody to start filling out a bunch of forms and paperwork and nonsense in order to just do what they otherwise should be doing, which is working and creating value within the Thai economy.